Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Wow, it's been a while, I know guys, and I should have been posting since a couple days ago. This is probably going to be coming in pretty soon, like very soon, but we will see how it goes. So we are going to be reacting to Breaky's every single Warhammer 40k WH40k factions re-explained part 1. This is basically going to be a video explaining every 4 captain. YouTube quick, yeah, right. Oh, this is explaining every Warhammer 40k faction. I've seen a lot of people react to this, and I am gonna do my due diligence as a slop streamer and content creator to go on ahead and do the same. I heard that we do have kind of permission to do it, but if at any case, if I don't have permission to do any of it, I will take the videos down, like straight up, like maybe take, I don't know. Yeah, no, I'll take the video down completely. But also, I did also want to say that we do have a new person in the Patreon. Thank you very much for doing that. I will be updating the Patreon as soon as this video does come out. So it will be coming out like you guys will see. You see the date up there? The next day you'll see this video, but then the next video is gonna be my my gameplay stream that we did with collab with. So but yeah, but let's go on ahead and get into it. Come on, Bricky, explain to me what the fuck, explain to me, Daddy Bricky, on how all of this goes in together.
In the kind brightness of the far past, there was no war. Our galaxy was, for a long time, fairly empty and quiet. The first known species to appear during this time are known only as the Old Ones, cosmic entities that traveled across the galaxy with ease and seeded life through the stars.
So from what I remember from the Old Ones, they're like, I think it was like frog people that were kind of peaceful, but there were also other people that wanted to kill the frog people. There was a lot that I got into it. I'm pretty sure you guys remember we actually watched the Emperor's TTS, but we didn't start it from the beginning. We actually started it from a really long point because I did have a question on how the God Emperor was born. And we realized that it's 5 guys, more than 5 guys, obviously. But the joke I wanted to make was that it's 5 guys and 1 man. But it is a lot more than it is a bunch of sages put together to make one great being of humanity, basically. Also, another thing too is, yeah, I'm gonna be updating Patreon. There is a new Patreon subscriber that I will be adding up to the top. So you will be seeing that done. I will add it to the end credits, but you will see above me Patreon credits and whatnot. Do they have burgers and fries with those 5 guys? So true.
Thereafter, a new species began to arise, the Necron tier. Evolving under the harshness of a devastatingly powerful star, the short-lived and irradiated Necron tier try to find the secret to eternal life and to be freed from their terrible existence. As they expand through the star,
how do you get dealt such a fucking bad hand? The Necrons had to have been given the worst hand in fucking existence. They live in a world where it's constantly being irradiated, their bodies deteriorating, and the only thing they're trying to do is to stay alive, dude. Did you add me to the Patreon subscriber list? Did you actually do it? By being utter shitheads to the Old Ones. Hey, you know, fair enough. That's crazy. Although I did want to use the Necrons when I actually wanted to play the game, but I never actually got to play the game, sadly.
They find the Old Ones and they plead to them to share the secrets of the universe and grant them purchase from their short and painful existence. The Old Ones respond with a lol and a lamau, and with their immense power, they force them back to their homeworld. The Necron tier, filled with rage and hatred, make it their duty to get revenge on the Old Ones.
That is crazy to think that the Necron tier were there, and immediately it doesn't even sound like that they were dickheads. It sounds like that they were like trying to, you know, for all I know, it's probably going to be completely different. But it just kind of sounds like more or less that that like shit hit the fan, and then wait, are you fucking El Taco's Taco Time Skulls? Is that you? But yeah, no, it does sound that it's like fucking like bad and shit. Like it does sound like they were given a dead hand. they asked for support and then they got fucked over. The C10 shards that the Necrons use are also the old ones. So I do remember that. Also, thank you. I appreciate that, Skulls. I really do. It's an old account I made. Fair enough. Also, do you want your name from the Patreon or do you want Skulls Dead on top? Because it's gonna be a smaller name. It's just gonna be it just gotta want to make sure which name you want to use here. Also, let's go ahead and continue. Oh, it's such a bad hand. Dude, I would use the souls of the gods that fucking betrayed me too. What the fuck?
Revenge that would come swiftly as a chance encounter with other gods gave them a solution. These other gods were known as the Catan, a race of highly powerful star-consuming entities. Do not fear, young mortals, for we, the Catan, will provide you with the immortality you seek. Come now, won't you shake a poor sinner's hand? Quoted from Mephetron, the Deceiver. The Necron tier.
Wait. Was it? Didn't I remember that the souls that they were getting I'm trying to remember something. Hold on. Let me search it up real quick. MP Roar. Wait. I remember that they referenced it, but I thought they made them look like little dumb people.
Accepted the Catan's offer of immortality, but believe it or not, this turned out to be a ruse. A trick. The Catan crafted gigantic furnaces and began the process of biotransference. The Necron tier willingly walked line by line into the furnace engines made by gods who devour stars and had their souls consumed instead. The short-lived, irradiated, and cancer-inflicted race of the Necron tier ceased to be, and the immortal, soulless Necrons remained. Now backed by the immense power of the Catan, the Necrons rally against the Old Ones, and the bitter conflict in the stars at this time is known as the War in Heaven. Despite creating various races and entities to aid them in this battle, the Old Ones—
I didn't realize this, but is the last trainer everyone looks like? Shut up. Yeah, let me change it. Assholes. I gotta fucking change the let me see. Just chatting. Luckily, none of my fucking dudes are here, so you know. None of my fucking guys are here, so they're not gonna fucking put a counter on me for doing that. But yeah, no, that was fucking. I'm wondering how badly, like, I understand these guys. I honestly understand the Necrons. Like, holy fuck, dude, they were dealt such a shitty hand. Some guy came in, sold them snake oil, they fell for it, they turned into these things, and I can see why the fuck they just wanted to make war with these people. I have never seen a race get played so fucking hard in their lives. Holy fuck, I've never seen that happen.
Are overwhelmed and eradicated down to the last, due to the sheer power of the Catan, fat off the souls of the Necron tier, and with an army of unthinkable robotic slaves at their behest. However, the Catan are greedy, spiteful gods, and when there was no foe worth killing, they turn on each other. The Necrons then put their sights towards the Catan and lay waste to them, securing their freedom. The once subservient Necrons now control their former masters. Worn out and weakened by these wars, the Necrons under their leader Zarek, the Silent King, lie dormant, with a plan to eventually wake and reclaim control over the galaxy. Over millions of years, empires rise.
That's a crazy thing to think about. Because they literally said that they were the to wake up and control the galaxy. He said yet again, but in no part in that story. Maybe I'm just fucking not listening, by the way, because I have a tendency to forgetting some information. Maybe I did forget the information, but nowhere did I hear that they did control the universe. I just thought that they were just little fucking they were getting fucked over by like 50 other people. If they ruled the galaxy at some point, then great, happy for them. But at the same time, I didn't get that information. So hearing that they're doing it again when it didn't hear it in the first place, suspicious, very suspicious.
And they fall. The species created by the Old Ones have footholds over the galaxy, but on a pale blue dot in the thick of all this conflict, humanity begins to evolve. And for the most part, the basic path of humanity's evolution remains the same as it is now for almost 15,000 years.
Before he says it, I'm gonna say it. When I was learning about Warhammer 40k from a friend of mine at work, he told me that the Emperor of Humanity, or the Emperor of Mankind, is actually both Jesus and Genghis Khan. So the joke of me saying that I was really in a Chinese era of my life really did apply to him, except it was more Mongolian, but you understand a very Asian time of him, you know? The Necron tier empire basically spanned an entire galaxy, but in comparison to the Old One's empire, it just dropped compared to an ocean. That does make sense.
Right now, in the 21st century, this is canon. You, right now, Twitch streamer reacting to this video, okay,
hold on, bro. I fell for it. I fucking fell for it. Chat, I fucking fell for it. He knew that this was gonna happen. He knew that we existed. All the slap trap. He was like 4D chess on our asses, bro. He fucking knew this shit was gonna happen. Why didn't I think that this was gonna happen? Why did I think that he was just gonna go about it? Damn it!
Existed at a point in the Warhammer universe, but with time,
cool,
humanity's ambition and the power.
He fucking knew, and it fucking psychs me out. He fucking knew that this was gonna happen. By the way, he made this video before this video was even looked at. I'm sure he was just like, oh yeah, dude, like I'm probably gonna make the video. And then just to be smug about it, he was just like, yeah, I know a bunch of VTubers are gonna fucking look at this video. He's streamers, well, he said streamers, but like a lot of VTubers I'm sure looked at this. Like legit, if the Necrons were still like the Necron tier, I would bet that they would be way more dangerous than they currently are. They technically are very dangerous. They just aren't played that way technically. Cause don't they have a machine that literally can warp or like destroy like solar systems, galaxies of things? I'm pretty sure it's this one fucking machine that does that all on its own. I'm pretty sure that's a fucking huge threat, dude.
Power of their technology becomes unmatched and the golden age of expansion begins. Humanity starts to branch out through the stars with powerful tools used for agriculture, mining, and expansion. Some branches of humanity would eventually settle far away from Earth itself, and around this time, the psychic ability of humans are
that is okay, but the Necrons have the machine equivalent of dementia and narcolepsy. I mean, that the same kind of thing happened to the fucking orcs, if you think about it, because they can easily just defeat everybody if they wanted to, but they have the equivalent of mental degradation. You know? I can't use the word. I'm too scared to use the word. But you know what I mean.
Greatly expanded, and what we begin to know as psychers appear. But despite all the progress, things would begin to collapse. The machines created to aid.
Okay, before we get into the further, psychers got to be the funnest fucking thing I've ever heard about. Psychers in itself are just so fucking cool. I like the idea of somebody that harnesses chaos from a different, but always has to play with that balance because they themselves can fall under chaos. And to find out that a psyker can actually kill a lot of fucking people if they lose grip on the power itself. Oh, that's so cool. That's so fucking cool. But that mental degradation warps reality. Yeah!
Humanity would turn on them in M23, an event known as the Cybernetic Revolt, and trade would begin to collapse due to the immaterial warp, aka actual hell, beginning to cause ruptures in space and time. These warp stones would separate humanity, and this would be what is known as the Age of Strife.
Wait, you talking about warp stones? Is these the same warp stones that the Skaven snort?
Warp, a sea of souls, storing all thought, emotion, and the souls of those who have passed on begin fluctuating into something terrible, as far on the horizon, something horrendous was brewing. You see, the warp isn't just a random assortment of chaotic energy. It is fairly well organized, thanks to those living in the galaxy. The warp itself acts as an afterlife of sorts, and the actions of the innumerable amount of creatures who live in the galaxy have manifested a pantheon of organized entities known as the Forces of Chaos. At their helm are three major entities, Khorne, Nurgle, and Tzeentch. However, a fourth one, Slaanesh, was about to be born.
Wait, hold on.
Chaos. At their helm are three major entities, Khorne, Nurgle, and Tzeentch. However,
so Khorne, Nurgle, and Tzeentch. So there's four, but the fourth one isn't born until later, because debauchery technically needs to only exist when something, it requires people to just be really fucking horny, to a very terrible degree. So there are four. For a bit there, dude, for like a while, I thought there was only three. I guessing I keep interchanging Tzeentch with Slaanesh, and that's why I kept thinking there was three. I forgot there was four. Yeah, because the okay, I remember this because we were just actually I think I was talking about this with a coworker. No, I remember. I was watching another video before I ended up watching this one, but from what I remember, basically Space Elves fucked Slaanesh into existence. Yeah, I was gonna say it. Why didn't you let me say it? I wanted to say it.
Ever a fourth one, Slaanesh, was about to be born. The ancient Eldar were one of the first species created by the Old Ones, and due to their extreme and unbridled excess, the birthing of Slaanesh tore a hole in the galaxy and forever split the Eldar into those of the craft world, who sought to bring their species back together, and those of the Drukhari, who wished to continue what caused the birth of Slaanesh in the first place. The birthing of this fourth chaos god settled the warp storms of the Immaterium and ended the age of strife, but humanity was still fractured. So one man revealed himself and spearheaded an immense attempt to reunite all the fractured pieces of humanity. That man was the Emperor of Mankind. After reclaiming the nearly destroyed
Jesus, he's many people apparently. I didn't know that.
Earth, the Emperor embarked on the unification wars to unite humanity under the banner of the Imperium of Man. However, due to the very long and devastating impact of the Age of Strife, humanity as we know it is not the same. To reconquer Earth, the Emperor would need more than mere men. Great beings, known as the Thunder Warriors, were recruited by the Emperor to reclaim the Earth with ease. But these
are the Thunder Warriors just the first? It just seems that the Thunder Warriors are kind of like the first version of the Astartes, because I'm looking at, well, I'm assuming this is what it is. I'm going to use random pictures. This is what it is. And then talk about it. It just seems that it's coming up to be that way.
Warriors are a blunt tool and had overstayed their welcome. He would need something better, and that solution would be known as the Space Marines.
Is there a difference between the Space Marines and the Astartes? Am I like fucking tripping balls here? He has the most glorious hair. He does. Very long and luscious, dude. It's actually kind of insane. You know, I kind of hope that one day we get tidbits of like really fucking like small shit, like very detailed stuff. Not necessary technically, because it's just more just because I want curiosity. What I want is similar. Okay. So they're two different things, but they're the same but different, is it? It's just, is it kind of like all of them are A, but not all of A are B kind of situation, you know? Like all Astartes are Space Marines, but not all Space Marines are Astartes kind of situation. I feel like that's where we're heading towards. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, right. So like, okay, I get it. All right, that makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so my thought. Now, I know that this isn't gonna happen, and I don't think that this is gonna be. I don't know because I don't know much of Space Marines. I'll give you like small details of what I do know, what I do recognize before he says it, but I'm not gonna be able to go deep into it. But what I was gonna say is I kind of want a story of like small timelines of when the Emperor was alive, kind of describing very faint details of how certain things have happened during their timeline. Because the fact that he's canonically fucking Genghis Khan and Jesus Christ and many other fucking like guys, I kind of understand how the point of view of the people that were around him when this happened. Because, you know, we have stories in our timeline where in our timeline, our existence, Jesus was born, that was recorded, the whole thing, his life was recorded, yada yada, all the way up to his death. But I kind of want to see what they would come up with for this kind of thing, honestly. The Golden Guard, okay. What do you know about the Custodes? Aren't the Custodes literally just like the Emperor's right hand or something like that? I'm sure like I forgot his fucking name. I've heard about him, but like are the Custodes the sons of the Emperor? Not the right hand, but are they like direct sons of the Emperor? Okay, so I need to fucking get you guys to fucking speak to me here, because it's
also Yuffie. I didn't realize this is what last train out of Wormtown looks like.
Yeah. Custodes are the best of the best. No, they're those are the Primarchs. Oh, okay, I'm mixing things up. All right, but those are the Primarchs. Custodes are the best of the best. Okay, that makes sense.
Human soldiers that will have the skill and cunning exponentially greater than the mortal man. These new warriors would be commanded by an elite group of his very own sons known as the Primarchs. Unfortunately, though, Daddy didn't charge the baby monitor, and his 2018 sons would...
That joke! I've heard that joke twice. I've heard that fucking joke twice. Every fucking time, and I want to know what they mean by that. The first one was by, hold on, you know what? We're gonna stray away from this real quick. We're gonna stray away from this. Hold on. This one.
Olden Jesus had 18 sons.
It's the same fucking joke. It's the same fucking joke every time. I'm like, it baffles me.
Primarchs as they can get, I think.
I don't know much about Warhammer. You know more than I do.
About Warhammer.
You might know more than I do. But that's the joke. That's the joke that always comes out. It's him
Olden
too.
Jesus had 18 sons.
Every fucking time I hear that, it's just so fucking funny to hear. And he says it too. So there's more to it, unless Carcass Boy got it from him. But I think I would have to check the dates between them, man. I would have to, but I'll add it in between here, being like, oh, it's this year's or something. Oh, we'll figure it out. But that's a joke. I want the joke explained to me. I want the fucking frog autopsied.
Would be stolen by the forces of chaos and scattered across the galaxy. This would begin the Great Crusade, a monumental task to take back the stars in the name of humanity and reclaim the lost Primarch sons. However, he would need the fires of industry to make this happen. Looking to the distant cousins of Mars, the Emperor signed a treaty with the technologically irradiated hellscape of the Red Planet and allowed the cult of the machine god, the Mechanicum, to supply.
This is the type of stuff that I like knowing about, these specific details. This is just between two planets, dude.
A spy service made entirely of retired Custodes.
Yeah, I've heard of those guys. I forgot what they're called. Excuse me. But yeah, no, bless yous, timestamp this and bless yous in comments, YouTube. Don't worry, I'm just joking. But yeah, let's go ahead and
his crusade. While Space Marines were the tip of the spear, their numbers pale to the vast might of the Imperial Army and Navy. The Astra Militarum and their seemingly endless numbers make up the bulk of the fighting force for humanity.
I've heard that if you're being hunted by them, then it is guaranteed that you die from the spies that they have.
by the intelligence and prowess of various agents of the Imperium, such as rogue traders and assassins. Due to the lack of connectivity between the worlds, what a society had become over thousands of years became mysterious and varied. Tools once used for harvesting and agriculture now are being used as machines of war in the—
Yes, that's something that I remembered. I thought it was so cool to hear about this. So I know you guys, this is kind of, I'm assuming that this is kind of just like a historical thing and they kind of just wanted to add to it to make it feel that way. But a lot of the things that I remembered from Warhammer, fuck my cards! Shit, I keep fucking with them and I keep drop the fucking whole mess of them. From what I remembered from like the whole Warhammer lore was a lot of their things, like a lot of their weapons that come, like armor in this case, a lot of it comes from like agriculture and like working. And I thought it was so cool to hear about that because in my eyes, that's how a lot of weapons come to be, you know? It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Form of Imperial Knights. Some of these fractures of humanity would even be changed further and become unrecognizable to the average human, with differences in size, skin color, appendages, cat ears sometimes. Some would go so—
What do you mean by cat ears? What do you mean by that? I want to know what he means by this. Cat ears? Cat ears. Is there canon a character, a cat girl in Warhammer? Is there canonical cat girl in fucking Warhammer? I want to know this. Also, another thing, I fucking love those robot men. They're great. I forgot their name.
Warriors were apparently 100x more effective as an army compared to the current Imperium army.
Oh shit, okay.
far to become their own galactic societies, like the miners of the Galactic Core and their immense supercomputers, forming the Leagues of Votan. After an incredible amount of effort and books, the lost sons of the Emperor would be reunited, and the Imperium of Man would be firmly established. This, however, would not last. Be it intentional or accidental, the Emperor would not reveal to his sons the true nature of the galaxy and the terrors of the warp. And this oversight would result in one of the most impactful wars in humanity's history.
Wait, the Horus, it's the Horus, fuck, there's a word. I hate that I forget words. Don't say it. I can get it. Give me a second. I can get it. Please let me get it. It's the fuck, it's at the tip of my tongue. It's like a test.
H.
The Horus, it's not heresy, is it? It's not heresy. Is it the Horus heresy? No. It's the Horus, the Horus. Give me the first letter. Give me the first letter, chat. The Horus. Yes. The Horus. It's the Horus heresy. Shit. Damn, I had it good. Okay, I got it. I'm just gonna say I said it right.
Favorite son of the Emperor, Horus, would fall to the powers of chaos and turn on his father. This betrayal, this backstabbing, this heresy, this Horus heresy would result in a split in the Imperium with—
Congrats, Bricky. You did great with that one. It was a heresy. I forgot that it was the Horus heresy. Okay, I'm goated. I'm goated with the sauce, bro. I'm great. I'm 100% amazing.
Devastating consequences. Half of the Emperor's loyal sons would fall to chaos and become the Chaos Space Marines, along with the forces of the Dark Mechanicum and the Chaos Knights. The conflict would result in the absolute obliteration of Horus and the physical death of the Emperor himself. The near-dead body of the Emperor would be placed on the Golden Throne to serve as a beacon of humanity and allow for the continued ability to travel the stars, protected by his most loyal, the Adeptus Custodian.
I would say that's probably the worst fucking scenario that you can get to. I'm assuming that it had to have been the worst scenario. This is the worst that could have happened. You know, besides, you know, the Emperor just fucking dying. Because technically he's kind of alive in there. But I'm pretty sure this is the worst case scenario that happened. And it is like, this is like the Murphy's Law of fucking 40K apparently, what it seems.
The Imperium would be vulnerable during this age of rebirth, and Terra would find itself under siege by one of the most formidable species in the galaxy, the Orcs. As time went on and memories of the Emperor's vision began to fade, the Emperor would become less of a head of state and more of a religious figure, and the Imperium would change to reflect this. The leadership on a planet would be—
I'm sure somebody's gonna answer this for me. I don't know if it's gonna be true, but didn't the Emperor of Mankind not want to be seen as a god? Pretty sure there was a point where I don't know, maybe I like heard it from somebody, but I remember that was like one thing that he didn't want was to be seen as if he is god, but like it ended up happening. Yeah, he didn't want to be seen as a god. He ended up becoming a godlike because of like all of his I mean, he's literally immortal. He was alive for so long.
Be at the behest of the High Lords of Terra, and their actions would be courtesy of the incomparable power and authority of the Inquisition. The zealots of the Imperium would intensify and create a brand new era known as the Age of Apostasy. And this ecclesiarchal command of the Imperium would end up with one of the strongest fighting forces of Terra, the Adepta Sororitas. Over time, this age would—
See, this is what I thought was really cool. Like I like the idea of fucking these battle nuns. They're battle nuns, and I love battle nuns. They're fucking hot.
In the most technical sense.
The Emperor is still alive on the throne in a most technical sense. Yeah, there's a heartbeat, but the fuckers might as well just be in a death throne. That might as well be a coffin. Like he's like not even— I would assume that he's not even conscious right now. Like he's just there, put there as a means of basically saving humanity. Maybe, I don't know. Also, that angel lady in the background, I'm pretty sure that's not an angel. I think that's a being corrupted by the warp, but mind is still intact. If I'm correct, I just forgot who it was. I forgot what her name was.
The warp
but
would completely eradicate Holy Terra and ruin the galaxy forever.
If you ever woke up and the warp would completely be eradicated, Holy Terra, and ruin the galaxy forever, that's crazy. So like that angel in the background is technically— isn't that angel technically a fucking demon? But like it's a human, it's a Soritas, Soritas that turned into a demon, but was blessed, or quote unquote blessed, by like the Emperor, and then she became like this angel like being or something like that. I might be tripping balls, bro. I don't want to be putting fucking lore into somebody's mouth that isn't there, but I pretty much remember something like that.
The Emperor would become the fifth Chaos God if he ever woke up.
I heard that he already is the fifth Chaos God. I don't even remember like the completely lore, but he's becoming or something like that.
And he is stirring from his sleep.
That is crazy.
Come to pass, and we would approach the 40th millennium of Warhammer 40,000. Which, you guessed it,
thank you, Bricky,
would come with its own form of problems. A primitive species once found during a recon mission would be able to evolve in relative secrecy for 6,000 years, becoming a highly advanced coalition of aliens known as the Tau Empire. And if the threats of the galaxy—
the Tau Empire, they're funny. Also, if you've seen the art that you've seen from the Tau Empire, pretty good. I would say so myself. By the way, I'm a gooner. But from what I remember from the Tau Empire, they're a very recent race that popped up out of nowhere. They're so recent, in fact, that they had actually killed one of the fucking huge robots, and
Fuck the Tau. Fucking space weebo commie scum.
I don't like the Tau either, actually. I in fact think that they fight like a bunch of bitches.
Hooves.
The Tau have hooves. Not bad. But like I also heard that they shot down one of the bigger robots, you know, the one with the like a body inside, and they basically like not interviewed it, but basically interrogated it, and they found out that robot's kind of like way fucking older than their existence, and they even had such a crisis. It was fucking funny. The cow
weren't bad enough,
so
there are
crazy.
threats from outside the galaxy. As a monster has begun to wrap its tendrils around the Milky Way, the Tyranids,
Cows.
monsters that serve a
Cows.
psychic
We've
hive
awoken
mind and present tactics previously unseen in the Milky
Yeah.
Way. Be it a direct assault with their monstrous bug-like presence, or through the more covert gene stealer cults, the presence of yet another threat in the galaxy is proving to be overwhelming
of
to
weird
the
hooves,
Imperium. In the
apparently.
41st millennium,
crazy.
there is no peace among the stars. At any point, your
No
life
justice, no
can
peace.
and will be threatened by the Xenos races uncountable, or by the arch enemy of chaos within,
Oh, yeah.
or by the decroded terror that is the Imperium itself. It is to live in the cruelest
Fun
and
fact
most
about
bloody regime
Tyranids.
imaginable.
It's really fun fact about the Tyranids. Funny thing though, what I thought was really funny
They
to
hold
look at,
grudges, LOL.
they hold grudges against what? What? That's crazy. They're a hive mind and they hold grudges. My thought on like the Imperium versus the Tau, which I thought was really funny, was it kind of makes me feel whenever I look at the models from the Imperium compared to like the models from the Tau, it always feels like
There's
the Tau
one
is a lot more
tyrant in
technologically
particular
advanced
that keeps
than
coming back to murder people.
Tau. Than I feel like the Tau are
Old
more
one-eye.
technologically superior than the Imperium is, which is a very interesting thing. I don't know. It's just looks. They look more advanced than the Imperium, because I always look at it. I don't know. It's maybe the gears and stuff.
Tower techno
chuds.
chuds.
That's funny. The Tower techno chuds. Old One-Eye. There's a Tyranid particularly that keeps coming back to murder people. Old One-Eye. That's fucking.
Forget the power of technology and science, or the safety of promise
The
and
Tau are more advanced.
I fucking knew
LOL.
it. So I was right. It feels that way because if you look at both of it just feels like the Imperium of Man is technologically stuck where they're at, and I can't even figure out why anything would be stuck in this place when the Tau have been like fucking engineering like fucking hard as shit. It's so weird to see.
understanding. For in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
Just solid fighting.
Okay, so my thoughts on this right now. Yeah, it's really funny though to think about, because like humanity is known to be the race that progresses the fastest.
Also, the Tau are the closest thing to good guys
in this
that
kind
Warhammer
of in this
has.
kind of like bad area, you know? Like there is war, and a lot of our technological advancements have become from a lot of the times when we're in war. It is a matter of fact of survival. Our weapons, the way that food is produced, the way all of that, it feels like it's come about from war. So you'd think that maybe being in war would be the one thing that humanity has that would help them technologically advance. So to me, when I see that, like, yeah, don't get me wrong, it makes sense that there's an alien race out there that's going to be a lot more superior and maybe evolves a lot faster, but it makes no sense for the humans to be in this area stuck and not advance any further with what they currently have. I feel like it'd constantly keep going, because that's just what we do. We try to make killing
Reminds
easier,
me
you know?
of the Asari from Mass Effect.
Like, the thing about humanity when it comes to war is we always try to make killing easier. So I would think that that's kind of just the thing that they do, you know?
It's more like that humans just hate everything so fucking much that it kinda doesn't matter.
But that's the thing, though. They hate everything so much, but that's kind of how war works. You know, you're going to have to hate the other side to be able to do the thing that you're going to do. I mean, fuck's sake, shotguns were really fucking bad during the time of World War I, that the Germans hated that shit. They wanted to outlaw the shotgun in war, but they didn't. But the reason why is because they wanted to make killing easier. They hated the opposing side. So what is stopping them from continuing on their progression than hate? In this case, I would use that hate to do the same thing. I would get Tau remains, see how they work, and then maybe make a gun that'll fucking kill them faster, or make a gun that'll stop them in their tracks, because the Tau like running and gunning. The Tau are known for running and gunning. So why not make something that'll stop them from running and gunning, you know? Make them do something. It just makes sense,
Get
you know?
Tech Mob fucking Xeno.
Dude, like, I feel like the humans in Warhammer 40k are made to be meatheads. And it just doesn't make sense to me. The humans being meatheads just doesn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't, because they say, yeah, machinophobia, but they've managed to make biomachines. They've made people into machines. There's a whole fucking race. There's a whole faction of people that turn themselves into robots. So it just makes sense to me that the others would just find ways to keep the human body alive and then continue on making more stuff.
That's the biggest reason.
That still doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry to say the giant robot exists.
Something.
A fantastic job once again, Mr. Kurz, the Night Haunter himself. Oh, didn't you love that, my faithful audience? Once again, we have another criminal over the...
A lot of those people were forced into those bodies and basically
But
that's the difference. There's a difference between the people who are making the weapons. There's a difference between the people making the weapons, and there's a difference to the people who are put in those weapons. And what I'm saying is that the people who are put in those weapons are more than likely the ones who are being experimented on to make the weapons work. Therefore, I would think that the scientists that are behind the weapons would make weapons that would work well against other. But it just seems that humanity is written to be a bunch of bone. Like, it's like if your football team were the scientists, you know? They're not really into science. They just like, they'll kill people. Yeah, don't get me wrong. They'll try to be as efficient as possible, but to a certain point, you know?
Course of 6 hours, break every single bone in his body. And with that, once again, our glorious leader has brought the crime rate to 0%. Always brought to you here on the Strawman News. I'm your host, Bricky. Thank you once again for joining us. Our top stories for tonight. The weather forecast appears to be rainy with extra dark, so make sure you pack those extra batteries for your lamp packs. And of course, let's not forget the fantastic gang violence problem we're currently having. Oh, I'm sorry. What's that? Oh, right. It's gone. It's looking to be a chilly one tonight as well, so make sure your skin capes are nice and tight.
That's
Wait,
crazy.
hold on, one moment. No. Adamantium reserves have tripled? Wait, I'm sorry. Self-harm rates have gone down to 0%. The Night Haunter smiled?
I'm sorry, where are we getting onto this?
No. This could only mean one thing. It is the Strawman News' great privilege to bring some color back in your life with the brand new 3-part Gamer Subs drop.
Damn it. It's a fucking, I thought this was gonna be lore. I'm a fool. We're gonna watch it anyway.
Exclusively on this here news network. That's right, your esteemed host Bricky myself is dropping a 3-part Gamer Subs release for pre-order, available now and only for a couple of weeks. Not only does it include a completely brand new artwork reskin of the Sweet 6-pack flavor, one of the highest selling flavors in the entirety of Gamer Subs, but it also comes with the first ever all over print Gamer Subs 32-ounce jug. And if that isn't enough for you, if the phenomenal drink and drink holder is not enough for you, we have a desk mat to go along with it. That's right, the Herculean look of the brand new Sweet 6-pack style is here. We're still looking at muscles beyond belief, but this time we're talking taste, we're talking Atlas, we're talking smooth. And if that wasn't enough, I, your co-host specifically, should you pre-order all 3 of these items, will personally hand sign a note for you, thanking you for supporting this network.
Can you sign my testicles?
All of this you can receive for 10% off if you go down in the description of this video and click the...
Is that the equivalent of like somebody being like, sign my boobs? It's like a guy coming up, Bricky, can you sign my testicles?
link or go to gamersubs.com/bricky and use code bricky. Save 10% off with code bricky. Bring some color back into your life and increase production across the board for our glorious leader, the Night Hunter. Thank you, Gamersubs, for sponsoring Nostrama News, and let us move on to our next scheduled program. 5 years ago, I made every Warhammer 40k faction explained. A passion project of mine for a universe that I enjoyed so much. Its main purpose was to be a drawbridge, the separation between the layman who had only ever seen the big armored blue man situated neatly next to a Wetzel's Pretzels, and then the hardcore Warhammer lore nerd. That was just too wide, and there was nothing bridging these two together. Since 2020, Warhammer has exploded in popularity thanks to COVID, quality game updates, and a few excellent video games, and a couple miniseries.
That's kind of like the thing about like a lot of these kind of little franchises that come
All
out.
hail Henry Cavill.
It does take a bit for it to shoot off, and it does, and I'm gonna be 100% with you. It was a good thing up until it kind of did its own thing, and then it kind of just became like this money grubbing thing, and that's kind of just what I feel like. Yeah, that's the problem with franchises. The only way for a franchise to live is for it to make money, but the problem with making money is that sometimes you focus too much on the money.
Play the tabletop Warhammer game,
and because
if it didn't fucking cost.
Oh yeah,
so
dude.
much.
In fact, they should make Warhammer into a card game. What I think is that the focus becomes so much on money that they make short-handed decisions that just don't make sense sometimes, and I can see that happening with Warhammer most of the time. But like, I don't know, it's really hard to tell what you can do to the thing. Like, it's obviously it's gonna be the executive's decision to like put money ahead of everything. They don't fucking care half the time, and it sucks too, because then it kind of damages the products. A lot of products have been damaged by that fact. I mean, a lot of Disney stories that have come out that they're trying to do this IRL kind of version of each movie, and it sucks. They end up sucking so hard, and it's kind of just like because they're trying to shorthand a decision to make more money on like nostalgia and stuff, to sell it to like people who've seen the movie before and be like, oh, this is a lot better, and resell. Then I don't know, it's very weird, because like obviously the money needs to be made for it to continue on, but then sometimes you hire people that only focus on the money and not what actually matters to the game itself.
Sheer volume of people who have told me they have purchased miniatures due to that.
The games are pretty good. I heard that the fucking I heard that Rogue Trader is a really fucking good game. If you like Baldur's Gate, Rogue Trader is a really good one. The new it's not new anymore. It's probably like it's already gone through its seasons, but the Warhammer Space Marines 2 that came out was also a really good game. I saw that Bolt Gunner was another game that had to come out. I don't even know. I think that one's an indie game. But that was also a really good game. Yeah, they're pretty. It's going on pretty strong though.
Video alone makes me feel as if Games Workshop owes me commission. However, that video is incomplete. I was not a casual fan, but I was also not a hardcore lore junkie. In the 5 years since that video's release, multiple channels have sprouted up, and the drawbridge between casual to the obsessed has never been wider or easier to traverse. Even I myself have been a part of Adeptus Ridiculous, a podcast.
I have never heard of the Skittle Marines. What the fuck?
Teaching lore in a much simpler and condensed form. Needless to say, I've learned a lot. Warhammer is so much more than just Spaceman shoots big gun. It has also grown substantially from its origins, being a Warhammer fantasy spin-off just in space. Now, it is a black library filled with immensely deep characters, difficult themes, and even
It is an interesting thing. People kind of make it this black and white, being like, oh, it's a fucking like a thing that's what did they call it again?
It's
I keep saying sarcasm.
Faction of Space Marines that became canon.
That sounds really dumb. What the fuck is a Rainbow Marine? I gotta search that up, dude. That confuses me. But what the fuck was I talking about? What they called Rainbow Marines? What the fuck is a Rainbow Marine? Sounds Rainbow warriors, you mean? That's what I'm getting. That the rainbow should symbolize the Incan Empire, which is a capital. That sounds fucking weird. Rainbow warriors. I'm not gonna read about this. This is too much. I strayed too far and I forgot what I was gonna say. Whatever. I'll figure that out later.
Look up
And some tear-jerking stories. It is a backdrop for a million stories over a million worlds, and I did not see its true depth in 2020. But now, I'd like to share what I've learned. We just had a brief summary of the world and each faction that takes place during it. And we did that because to truly understand each faction, we must understand what makes them the way they are. And to do so, we need to begin in
Hey, it's Dr. Doom.
Chronological order, discussing their origins, their culture, their powers, and of course, what makes them oh so grimdark. So let's begin with the group that started it all and sing praise to the Infinite Empire.
Where was my head? I'm still trying to remember what I was trying to bring up, and then I forgot. Skills. God damn it. Let me think. Yeah, no, I forgot. I can't bring it up. Fuck.
As mentioned before, the Necron tier were the original form of the Necrons, an alien race far away from us that lived short, painful lives due to the irradiation of their star. Normally, this would manifest as like a sort of cancer, a space cancer of sorts. The Necrons are very much inspired by the ancient Egyptian aesthetic, but unlike the windswept dunes.
I saw that a lot, and I saw how that was kind of like I definitely saw the inspiration of Egypt in the Necron tier. Interesting. I did like the aesthetics of it. It was an interesting one. That's kind of like one of the reasons why I wanted to do, or why I liked it so much, was because it just made sense with, like, you know, fucking Egyptian robot people. I don't know. It was interesting to me, and like I really did like their aesthetics. I also really like robots back in the day. I thought they were cool, you know, and that's kind of just like what I, you know, was hyped on for a bit. But fuck it.
Commonly associated with it, the irradiated hellscape the Necron tier endured was far from picturesque. This also translates into their hierarchy. They are a race of nobles and peasants. Most of the peasants would often live for their very short amount of time, only a couple of decades, while the nobles tended to have better care and would live a little bit longer, but still far less than the average.
That's really fucking funny. A little bit longer just makes me think that maybe it's like 5 years. Maybe an extra 10 if they're fucking lucky. That's what it sounds like to me.
Lifespan of a human, even today in the 21st century. The leader of the Necrons was Zarek, the Silent King. He was the one who took the deal with the Catan and the Deceiver. Of course, he wasn't aware of the fact that they were known as the Deceiver at the time, but the whole species was blinded by hate after being debased by the Old Ones on their quest to cure their illness. The sheer pain that underwent the Necron race can't be understated, as their fear was manic. The Catan are, of course, gods that eat stars, and when the leader of your species tells you to march into the gigantic green furnaces to ascend to immortality, you march. The scenes from these are long lines of both the peasantry and nobles clutching their loved ones.
So the normal bone guys are like the peasants, but the ones that are more adorned and stuff like that, those are the fancy bone boys.
In a frantic act to save their own lives. Many of them already inflicted in the late stages of this space cancer, some of them crawling into the biotransference furnaces, trying to outrace death itself, without realizing death was the one who made these to begin with. What came out the other side was a soulless husk. And I say that literally. A soul is not an abstract concept like it is in our world, an immaterial version of oneself discussed and debated in religion and philosophy. No, in Warhammer, a soul is a real, tangible item of oneself. And the Catan basically were just like,
That's
to
crazy.
every single person who went in their furnaces. If you were a peasant, you came.
That's so fucking funny to think they're just like, yeah, dude, you can live forever in this all-you-can-eat buffet. Not particularly for you, but for me.
Out a Necron warrior, and you as an individual have ceased to be. You have no mind, you have no soul, and your body, as you know
bitches.
it, is made of an extremely advanced mass of re-knitting living metal known as
Youth is
necrodermis.
fascinating.
You
Terminal
cannot
getting
think
eaten
for
in a
yourself, for you
bad
do
way.
not have a brain
It's
to
really
think
getting eaten
with.
in a
All you do
terrible
now
way.
is await protocols from your overlords, which are the nobles who came out of the furnaces with their minds intact, not their souls, mind you, but their minds are very much intact.
How much? Wait, so are there all of their souls dead, or are there a couple people with souls still intact? Like, that just makes me think that they're all just soulless, and they actually succeeded in eating the souls, and then just like, I think they're all
I think all their souls are
not
damaged,
soulless.
not soulless.
These
Oh, shit.
nobles now have command protocols, and they are able to command all of their peasantry and do with them whatever they wish. Zarek, the Silent King, is the most advanced of all the Necrons, a perfect metallic version of himself with incredible power.
I'm looking at this and I'm realizing it's kind of funny. He looks kind of like what you would think like a skeleton robot. He's a skeleton robot, kind of like a Halloween aesthetic going on here, like a Scooby-Doo villain in a way. Just looking at his face, you guys can't see my mouse, but I'm rubbing his face with it. But yeah, no, he looks like a Scooby-Doo villain in a kind of funny way, you know? Like, I looked at it, I didn't realize that, because then like even you could see his mouth with like the part that was chiseled to make it look like sharp teeth, to make it look like he's like evil or like sinister or something like that. It's actually really funny.
And intelligence.
swear
His
I've
strength
seen
allowed
this
him to
dude in
lead
a
the
Scooby-Doo
undead and the
parody
unthinking
kappa.
armies of the Necrons
Yeah,
to battle
exactly,
against
Chad.
the Catan when they were at their weakest due to their incessant infighting and then win back their freedom. But gods cannot die. So in reality, what occurred is the Catan were shattered into thousands of pieces, and each shard of their god was trapped in a stasis vault and mind controlled to do the bidding of the Necrons they once enslaved. The biggest challenge they face now are actually the upstarts of the galaxy. The Eldar and the Orcs were quite prominent, and as you can imagine, a galactic war really takes its toll on the joints, or I guess the servos. It was in their best interest to wait out the galactic rise of the other
That is
races
crazy.
and come back at a more opportune time. So they went into stasis via these massive tomb complexes hidden beneath various worlds, biding their time until it was once again their opportunity to rule the galaxy. Zarek, the Silent King, as penance for his failure to his people, exiled himself into the darkness between stars for the next 60 million years with his perfect memory, a constant reminder of the doom he inflicted upon his people. Flash forward to the modern day, and the Necrons are reawakening, but it isn't working as well as it could be. Whether the tomb world is reawakened naturally or by some imperial moron stepping on a green glowing rock, the
That's fucking hilarious. Imagine you just going into the worst case scenario that I can think of is you made a hive world on a fucking Necron world, and like somebody decides that maybe they want to look through these pyramids, and or just got unlucky and that time of day came to like bring them back and shit, and then they get fucking like fucked over by robot skeleton boys, little bony boys coming out of their fucking cribs being like, hey, this was our home, I want it back, and they just fucking slaughter billions.
Necrons have come back to reclaim a galaxy they
Trillions.
consider rightly theirs. But 60 million years of hypersleep have taken their toll. Many Necron dynasties awake with systems unrestored and huge swaths of their population's minds completely lost. Necron nobles wake with various mental faculties compromised, sometimes exhibiting traits similar to excessive paranoia, schizophrenia, or even dementia. One notable Necron, Nemesaur Zandrek, believes that he is still back on his home planet fighting off separatists and interlopers. See, Oberyn, the separatists come, attempting to outflank me as they did at the 4th Battle of Vindach. How they calculate that daubing themselves green and roaring like savages will produce a different outcome, I cannot fathom. But it is of no account. Ready, my legions. Another glorious victory shall soon be ours. Other individuals, such as
That's gotta be the worst case scenario, to just wake up and find out that you're fucking, like, your mind has been fucked because you just don't have, I don't know, you didn't sleep that good, and now you just can't function properly because you didn't sleep that good. Fucking sucks.
As the
Or you slept way
esteemed
too
Imhotep
good.
the Stormlord seek to usurp the newly returned Silent King for rightful ruler over the Necron race, believing his time has come to an end, while scientists and archaeologists like Trazen the Infinite and Orikin the Diviner spend thousands of years bickering over artifacts and petty squabbles. Truly, the Necrons are a faction of unthinkable, unimaginable power, held back entirely by their own hubris and 60 million years of stasis. It is a species that does not know of time, only of the ravages brought by it. A pharaoh of a dynasty may just be as frightened to awake completely mad as they are to be assassinated while they sleep. Thousands of years pass in an instant. There is a play, like an opera play, a retelling of the War in Heaven in the Necron culture that takes 40 years to witness, because why leave? You have no need to eat or vacate.
That is crazy. Oh, you know what? You know what? I would actually believe that if you think about it. So you're basically immortal, and you're kind of serious. What you're basically doing is just watching what is the equivalent of like every Lord of the Rings movies. Why the fuck not? Why wouldn't you? You know, like there's no reason for you to like all that you do. You're functionally immortal. Nothing's gonna happen to you if you do this. Unless you're in the middle of war, then obviously you're just gonna get your ass handed to. But it just makes sense to me, honestly. Like if I'm gonna be a play, might as well stick to the play. I don't see why not. They ain't getting tired. I ain't getting tired. Shit, why the fuck not?
Your bowels, you are immortal, but you are soulless.
Do robots get bored?
Dude, if the play, if there are robots watching this play for 40 fucking years, like for 40 fucking years, then this play has to be the fucking greatest play to have ever been made. It just makes sense, you know?
Despite the Necrons' incredible technology, their mastery over time, reality itself, despite all of this, they still are missing a soul. And therein lies the biggest struggle. Most Necrons look to conquest the galaxy, kill the interlopers like the humans, Eldar, and orcs that scrape at a fraction of their power. But the end goal for many, including Zarek himself, is to return the souls to their bodies, to undo the horrible fate he cast upon them. This is not the interest of all. Many simply wish to rule their dynasty with an iron fist and kill all they consider unworthy. But to many others, it is to undo the decision that doomed them all. Before they can do that, there is a pest that needs exterminating. That is the fundamental understanding of the Necrons. They are so hyper advanced that their science borders on magic. They play with the fundamental aspects of reality and time. Their mastery of the physical galaxy is the strongest in the universe. Their weapons reduce people to the barest molecules, and they have devices capable of causing stars to supernova. They are unfathomable.
Like, you can't tell me that these fucking, like, everything is just so much more advanced than the fucking, than that, like, I would love to say that, like, as somebody who would get into this, I would always vote for the humans 100% of the time. I am human and I want the humans to win. I don't care how the humans win. I just wish that they'd win. But when you're looking at like everything that they talk about, it's kind of fucking insane that they even have that they're even allowed to exist because of the fucking things that they have to go through. They have things that can supernova stars. You know how fucking bad that is to somebody? If you're just like fucking fighting out there, you're just like, we got this, we're gonna win this. And then they supernova your shit and everything dies, and the planets can't fucking live through that. The planets are gonna die too.
Is the only reason we fucking don't lose cause our leader is him?
Yeah, that's another fucking reason why
shit.
you want to be with the humans. I don't give a fuck what shit eater comes in and being like, oh, but the aliens, no. The fact that the humans are living through this shit, constantly going through it, this Warhammer 40K is fucking humanity's undying spirit, bro. That is what it is. And if you like anything else, then I'm gonna be honest with you, then you just don't understand what the human spirit is. And I hope that the next alien invasion makes you into a fucking experiment, honestly. If an alien invasion comes in, I hope to God that they turn them into a fucking like flesh cube or something, dude. Because holy shit, if you're gonna vote against the humans, no. You should never be hoping for your own kind's fucking like loss in any type of shit.
Hello, I hope the aliens turn you into their science bitch.
Exactly. I do hope that the aliens turn you into their
Flesh
science
cube
bitch.
on a hole.
Flesh cube on a hole is
Reasonably
crazy.
difficult to kill, as if you do fell one of their number, the living metal reknits itself and the reanimation protocols allow it to come back alive once again. They're masters of teleportation, and often killing a Necron fully will just have its consciousness translocated back to their tomb world to await reassembly. Normally they utilize large phalanxes of warriors and honorary combats, but some of them have fallen to various mind viruses. The destroyer cults are hell-bent on killing anything and everyone that lives with an overwhelming force. And then there's the flayed ones, Necrons cursed with I have no mouth and I must scream, a panic attack virus, as the last laugh of Landogo, the Flayer Catan. Slowly losing their minds, they strip apart their foes and adorn their bodies with the
again when I was mopping and I got split.
My back popped once while I was dealing. It felt godly, then it popped again, and I was moping, and I got split. That fucking sucks, dude. When I was mopping and I got split, I heard moping for a bit. I thought he caused you to cry. I was like, bro, I'd fucking pain, that much pain. That would suck.
Skin of their enemies, trying to better return to their old feelings of flesh and blood. The Necrons are a
Imagine being killed by a Necron and it just fucking skins you alive, and now it's you. It's just like, dude, it just this fucking thing just wearing your entire drapage, even your muscles and everything, trying to make it look like itself back again, but using your fucking body parts. That's fucked.
graded version of their mighty empire, and still one of the biggest threats in the galaxy. The only thing keeping them at bay currently is their awakening sickness and their infighting with no care to the timeline. But they are coming, and slowly they plan to rid this galaxy of the vermin that inhabit it. My people shackled the stars and broke mortality when the species you sprang from had barely left the slime pools it spawned in. Our wars burned reality, and the dominion of our kings is without limit. The ground you tread on is not yours, it is ours.
That's
the war in heaven was a
That is
catastrophe.
such a fucking cool line. That is holy shit, dude. That is like, I would not be able to. I would simply just die in front of them after hearing that. I'd be like, damn, you fucking right, dude. I think I'll just die.
Perfect time for the galaxy, and as stated in the above quote, burned reality. Of course, souls exist in Warhammer, and in the case of the Necrons here, they were consumed by the star gods. This begs the question, however, if you were to pass on, expire, as one might put it, where would your soul go? The answer to this is the
luscious stream.
Yo, get the
Would be
glistening
listening
stuff. Bold talk from a toaster with the porn virus. That's fucking hilarious. So true, King. I think you're right. Is carrying the whole entertainment industry is such a luscious streams. We glistening.
The warp. In Warhammer, a soul is real, and so is hell. The afterlife, the Empyrean, the Sea of Souls, the Immaterium, all of these names refer to the dimension parallel to our own known as the warp. Now, the warp is not like our reality. It does not follow the classic normalcy of time and space. It is defined as the Sea of Souls, and it acts like this in a more literal way than you can realize. To imagine the warp is to imagine the sea itself. Hell is real, and you can surf on it. It has a current and can become more dangerous depending on where you go and how bad the weather is.
So basically, literally, it is the ocean. You enter it, and there are things in there that can kill you. There are things in there that don't mind you around.
Can I grind on it?
Yeah, it looks like you fucking can if you have the right fucking technology, Arden. You probably could grind on it. Do a fucking kickflip in it.
As the Immaterium is a reflection of our reality and of our souls, all thoughts, all emotions, all feeling that goes with a soul is passed on into the warp. If an entire planet decides it's going to engage in a blood-fueled rampage of murder and gore, then the warp around that planet will be affected in a similar manner. It's not something that you can see. It is a parallel, not perpendicular dimension. But it is changing. To expose oneself to the warp for any period of time invites certain death outside of the most iron-willed of individuals, and to stare into it will drive one mad. Much like the open seas, things dwell in the warp. Whether these beings were always there and were just emboldened by the carnage of the galaxy, we can only speculate at. At a time, you could say it was more calm. But a certain faction's galactic war in heaven didn't do it any favors. Now the warp is turbulent, and its realms belong to a pantheon of gods known simply as The forces of chaos are beings that serve directly under their patron deity. There are 4 current gods of chaos at the moment.
There are 4, but I feel like, I don't know, they envelop a lot of the things that you think. Also, fun fact, I think Khorne also, apparently Khorne has a lot more to him than just blood and gore, from what I heard. He's also like, he kind of works like a court system too, apparently. It's actually pretty crazy. Beta OS, what the fuck does that mean?
Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh. Each of them represent various facets of and emotions of sentient species and play a great game against one another for total control over their realms. Interestingly enough, while their disciples have physical forms we can understand, the Chaos Gods do not have a physical visual that you can perceive in reality. So while there are tons of fantastic fan art, we do not know what they truly look like, though they are conveniently color-coded. Khorne is the god of blood and murder, carnage and slaughter. He is the one who is most powered by the wholesale killing of any living thing, for Khorne cares not from where the blood flows. With a sacred number of 8, he is the lord of all things involving killing and blood and gore. The champions are extremely strong as well, with monumental muscles and extremely large weapons. A true analog to Khorne would be his greater demon, the Bloodthirster, an enormous muscle-bound flying devil with an axe.
Hold on, are we? Oh, we're in the chaos. Holy shit. I got so distracted. My bad. We're probably gonna look at this later, but thank you very much for coming by. This is interesting. I do like the Necrons. I was just like, why are they talking about the chaos after they just talked about the Necrons? That's pretty crazy. Whoa, chat. But yeah, I just realized we just got through the Necrons and we gotta get into the chaos. We're probably gonna start the chaos from the beginning in a different video. But for today, yeah, we're gonna finish it up here. Sorry, I kind of went a little too far than I thought. But thank you very much for coming by. If you want more Yuffie content, I also have a comic that you can read. I'm starting to post more onto it. I will be posting the next page. I forgot to post the next page on Sunday, so I'll be posting it like literally
just splice
today.
Post
so you can take a look at that. I have the other one coming in soon, but that one's gonna be for the early birds, and then after that I'm gonna put in for the next one. Though because of certain circumstances, I am basically fucking living on like on scraps after my big visit. So hopefully soon enough we'll probably be able to get more pages. I did tell the illustrator that I am fucking struggling for money right now, so hopefully we'll be able to get that done. Also hopefully we get the model soon too, because last time we lost, once I came back, my phone just doesn't want to work anymore, and hopefully we'll be able to get that fixed up so you can see me and all my fucking glory and whatnot. But yeah, if you want more UV content, you can go visit my Patreon in the link below. Also, make sure you guys take care of yourselves. If you want to support me there, you can. Most of the money goes into my comic as well as other things. And also, if you guys want to, you can go join. I'm probably gonna put my Discord on the thing below, because I do have a lot of things that I post. A couple things that I do over there. A lot of the activities that affect stream, I do post there. So hopefully, but yeah. But thank you very much for coming by. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah. I love you all. Bye, everybody. I did not mean to go all the way into the chaos. I legit, if I got distracted enough, I probably would have gone into the Eldar after by accident. But yeah, bye, everybody.